Hello soulmates, this is Tarot with Isabel, and today I'm gonna do another pick a pile reading. The question today is, what is the root cause of the problem and what can I do? I have 3 piles for you. I show you the backs. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. So I'll give you a little bit of time until you decide. Let's start with pile number 1. What's the root cause of my problem and what can I do? 3 cards, and there we are. Pile number 2. What is the root cause of my problem and what can I do? So the cards are popping. That's a good sign. There's a lot of energy behind the messages. Here's pile number 3. What is the root cause of my problem and what can I do? So 3, and there was a little bit of a mix-up in pile number 3. So let's dive in. Pile number 1. We start with the Empress. We have the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Okay, this reading is full of motherhood, of happy family, of happily ever after. This are children. This is a card of nostalgia. So what we're seeing here is the root cause of the problem might be that you have very high expectations in a or from a relationship. Maybe you have this high regarding memories of maybe your parents or someone else's relationship. Could be your grandparents that you remember as being the perfect relationship. Maybe the fairy tales of your childhood are still your standard of for relationships. And there we see that these high expectations often have to be disappointed because the real life, sadly, very rarely is a fairy tale. What can you do? So we see it in the Empress because the Empress is a card of being very compassionate, very loving, very understanding, and very rooted in nature. So in a very, actually being quite down to earth. And I feel it's the advice you're getting is be realistic about what you can achieve or what the other person is supposed to do for you. Be compassionate of their mistakes, of their shortcomings, as you want them to be compassionate about yours. Love this message. Pile number 2, here we go. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Swords. And we have the Ace of Swords. What we're seeing here with the 8 of Pentacles, you have put in a lot of effort into something. It could have been a relationship, it could have been a career, something that is very close to your heart, that you are or were very passionate about. And you try to put in your best to create a perfect result. But that's the thing with perfect results, a little bit like this other pile, the first pile with the fairy tales. It is the thing with perfect results. Perfect doesn't really exist, and therefore you are, I feel at the moment, quite disappointed in the outcome compared to what you put in. Okay, it's always it always has to be in relation. Okay, if I'm not really trying, I don't really expect much. But if I'm trying really hard, obviously I expect a lot. And this was apparently disappointed or it was not delivered. What can you do? Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is really getting clarity. Ace of Swords is almost an epiphany. The swords is our mind. Now here we have emotions. Okay, this is a disappointment. That's an emotion. We have to sort of now take the sword, take our sharp mind, our intellect, and dissect what went wrong and why did it went wrong. And this absolutely keeping the emotions out of it and really look at, because we see here Pentacles also, a very down-to-earth kind of element. And I feel almost emotionally, draw up a list of the pros and cons. We see that with the Ace, it is a new beginning, but also you have to make a new clear statement, a clear vision of the status quo and see what happened, what went wrong, and bare of all emotionality. Okay? Now this. Pile number 3. Let's go for it. We have the Hierophant. We have the Ten of Swords. Or is it this way? I think it's this way. Yes, the Ten of Swords. And we have the Eight of Cups. So what we're seeing is what's the root cause of your problems? The Hierophant. Hierophant is a card of authority, but also a card of going with the traditional way, going the way everyone else does. So this is either you let yourself act in this decision as society expects you to, or as the traditional way would be. So a very, I want to say, narrowed approach to a problem, whereas the card is actually asking you to look at it from a wider perspective, from a more creative perspective. Yes, the Hierophant is knowledge, but it's very conservative, and I feel this is asking you to look at it from a different perspective. We see Ten of Swords. This tells us that there was some ending here that might have been painful, but we have to realize, and maybe that's with the Hierophant, have to realize that it is ending to make room for something better. And therefore, your advice card is the Eight of Cups. Go inside of yourself and contemplate how you can move on from the situation, because literally we see a distinct ending here. This is not returning, this is not coming back. Find a way to move on to better things, because that's why it was ending. And yeah, let yourself be guided by your intuition and not so much by traditional views of how you're supposed to live or work or love, whatever it is. But we're definitely seeing it's time to move on. Better things are awaiting you, but you need to let that go. Okay? All the best. I hope that helped a little bit. See you in my next lives. Bye.